Hey guys, CarbonShadow here. It's Sunday afternoon, which can only mean one thing. It's time for some more of my tidbits. I have 6 stories lined up for you this week. It is week 7 of 2015, and with another week brings more awesome gaming news. So let's get straight into the first news story. The Art of Halo 5, a 208-page book full of Halo 5 artwork, has been given a release date. Its release date is set for the 11th of August. Now this art book is going to be awesome. It's going to be full of loads of concept art and video game art of Halo 5 Guardians, and apparently it's going to be like characters, environments, vehicles that are all appearing in the video game in some sort of art form. So it could be digital art, it could be drawn art. This book is a must-have for Halo 5 fans, and it's definitely one that I think all Halo fans are going to want to pick up. So you've actually got a release date for that now, and you can look forward to that coming out on the 11th of August this year. I think Halo 5 Guardians is set for a November time release date, so that sort of comes out 3 months before the game comes out. So that'll be interesting. It'll be interesting to see the art for the game 3 months before the game is actually released, but that is cool nonetheless. So if you guys want to know more about this, check the link in the description. The next news story is more of a rumor than a confirmed piece of news, but it's something that is going to excite the video game fandom and the video game scene, and involves Mass Effect 4. Now Chris Wynn, the senior development director of Mass Effect, has posted a tweet, or did post a tweet, on the 11th of February saying things are getting real now, and I need an excellent producer to come shape online for the next Mass Effect. So does this mean Mass Effect 4 is going to have online multiplayer? It's not a confirmation, but it's going to have an online thing of some sort. Maybe it's going to be a bit like Destiny's online, or maybe it will be a PvP online multiplayer, who knows. But Mass Effect 4 is going to get some sort of online mode, which is crazy awesome news, and definitely something to get excited about, and hopefully we'll see something more about that at E3 or maybe at GDC. I don't know, but it's most likely we'll see some more about Mass Effect at E3. There isn't really much more to say about this, so the link in the description is just going to lead to the tweet, but that's all we know at the moment, that he needs an excellent producer to come and shape online for the next Mass Effect. So Mass Effect 4 could be getting online, and that is exciting news. Sticking to the topic of exciting news, Star Wars Battlefront has received a load of rumors, which are all in one article on makingstarwars.net. If you want to check out the full article, the link is in the description below, but I'm going to go through a couple of those rumors very quickly with you guys. So the first one is the story of Star Wars Battlefront's campaign will span pretty much the entire Star Wars saga. Now this is cool because it means we get to play from Star Wars Episode 1 The Phantom Menace to Star Wars Episode 6 Return of the Jedi, and hopefully a bit of Star Wars The Force Awakens. The next rumor is the majority of the campaign will take place during the original trilogy era. All of the battles and settings that you would expect to be there will be playable. It was said that the campaign itself is pretty long when compared to other first-person shooters, so maybe we can expect a 20 to 25 hour campaign, which would be amazing compared to Battlefield 4's 3-hour campaign, which was ridiculously short. The next rumor is EA DICE was allowed into Pinewood Studios for a few days to scan and capture props, sets, etc. for recreation in the game. Now we already know DICE were allowed to go and scan props from the original trilogy at Skywalker Ranch, so this obviously tells us that they've gone to Pinewood Studios to scan props and vehicles from Star Wars The Force Awakens. Now this is really exciting news because it could mean that Star Wars The Force Awakens will appear in Star Wars Battlefront. The next rumor is there will be a hero system in place, where as you play, you accumulate points that you can eventually cash in to play as a hero character. These characters are extremely powerful and have abilities that are not available to the normal characters that you play for most of the matches. The system is consistently in flux, but as it is now, pretty much everyone will have a chance to play as a hero at least once per match. Now this is really exciting, and sort of evolves from Battlefront 2's hero system, whereas you gained points, you unlocked new classes of trooper, and then you could play as a hero if you unlocked enough points. But maybe with this system you will unlock points, and then maybe you'll be able to buy a hero, but there will be a choice of heroes to buy, so that could be a cool feature in the game. The next rumor concerns the downloadable content plan for the game, and apparently it is extremely aggressive. Expect up to 5 DLC packs for the game, with the first coming out before the end of 2015. Each pack will be themed, with the first 2 or 3 being exclusively based around content from The Force Awakens. So this rumor sort of tells tells us that there will be Force Awakens content, but obviously because the game comes out before the film, the game does not want to ruin the film for fans. So we will get the Force Awakens DLC after the film is released, which is really cool. The only downside I can see to this is the fact we will probably have to pay in excess of $120 to get all the content for Star Wars Battlefront, because DICE always charge quite a bit for their DLC, but we'll have to wait and see about that one. The last rumor I picked out for you guys is the last section of the campaign takes place before and during the opening scenes of Star Wars Episode 7 The Force Awakens. Don't expect anything too revealing though, because the game is expected to ship about a month before the movie releases. So as I explained in the last rumor, that The Force Awakens could be included in the game, but we'll see most of it as DLC. But it is cool that the campaign of the game, the campaign that will ship with the game, will actually have the beginning of The Force Awakens in it, which could be pretty cool, although it could ruin the movie for some people. So I have a feeling that this rumor is a bit far-fetched and may not have much truth behind it, but then again, most of these rumors could be completely wrong and could not actually give a true representation of the game we are going to get this year. If you want to read all the rumours, then the link is in the description to the article on makingstarwars.net, and it is full of awesome rumours, so go and check that out in the description below. The next article isn't really an article, but it's another tweet, and this time it comes from ID at Xbox, and they say, sometimes when you work at Microsoft, you see pinatas stowing away on equipment carts. No big deal. And it shows a picture of a pinata on an equipment cart, and this pinata looks very familiar. It looks like a pinata of a game that they brought out a very long time ago called Viva Pinata. Could there be a new Viva Pinata coming to the Xbox One? Who knows, but this is sort of exciting news for anyone who enjoyed the game. I enjoyed it a little bit. I never played it to completion, but I'd like to see Viva Pinata make a comeback on the Xbox One, because it'd be a nice different game to actually have on a next-gen console. So is Viva Pinata being made? We don't know, but ID at Xbox sort of hinted at there possibly being a new Viva Pinata in the works. Moving straight on to the next news story, and Sledgehammer have shown an interest in making single player and campaign DLC for the Call of Duty franchise. Now this is really interesting because most of the DLC that comes out for Call of Duty is mostly multiplayer based. Michael Condrey, co-founder of Sledgehammer, was quoted saying, "There is always things you leave on the editing room floor, and that's true of Advanced Warfare too. I'm not sure we'll have the opportunity, but as the creative drivers, we do have the interest." He also then goes on to say, "We're huge fans of what the terrors of the undead bring to the mood, as you probably know when we created the original Dead Space. Having exo-zombies in Advanced Warfare as a way to tap into a new way to thrill and scare fans is super rewarding for us." So it's good to know that Sledgehammer are looking at making single player and campaign DLC for Call of Duty. I think this could make for an interesting addition to the game, and it might be a good way to make more money for them, and maybe the players will appreciate the fact that there is more single player content coming to the game. The way I see it, most people enjoy Call of Duty for the multiplayer, so maybe this is not the best way to go, but maybe it's a way to revolutionize Call of Duty. We'll have to wait and see. If you want to read that news article, the link is in the description below for you. Moving on to the final piece of news for this week, and it is a really exciting piece of news, and it comes in the form of a video. The link will be in the description to the video, and it is a Just Cause 3 cinematic trailer. Now this thing is awesome. It's full of explosions, it's full of fire, it's full of just awesomeness, and yeah, I'm just having a fangasm over it because it's such an amazing looking cinematic trailer. Of course there's no gameplay been released, but I'm really hyped to see Just Cause 3 at E3, and I hope it actually shows up at E3 and we get to see Just Cause 3, because it is set to be released this year, and this cinematic trailer just makes me even more excited for Just Cause 3. So if you guys want to check out the Just Cause 3 cinematic trailer, the link is in the description. Of course there's been a bit of it on screen here for you now, but it's awesome with the music as well, so go and check that out in the description below. So that wraps up Carbon's Tidbits for another week. I will see you next week for week 8 of 2015, where I'll be wrapping up more news stories that I found that week. As always, I've been CarbonShadow, and I'll catch you next week, guys. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed that, guys. If you did, give it a thumbs up and a like. Don't forget to subscribe for more weekly content, and follow me on Twitter at CarbonShadowYT. As always, I've been CarbonShadow. I'll see you on the next one, guys. Have a good one.